Tonight, 16 riders will be seeking 8 qualifying places to the next stage of the championships. And the riders themselves say that tonight is the hardest of all qualifying jobs for them. Well, joining Dave Lanning in our commentary box is the current world champion, Bruce Pennell of America.
Well, world champion Bruce Pennell, it's good to have you in our commentary team tonight, but a lot of people would say you should be on the track. How's it going in Hollywood?
It's going really well. Chips has been canceled, of course, but we've had like 12 offers for different movies, and I'm going to be starting my new series probably in 2 months after my original contract expires. So things are going really good. I've been very busy and having a lot of fun.
But will we see you back on the Speedway track?
That's a tough one to answer. I really don't know. It's on my mind a lot, but I really can't answer yes or no right now.
So there is a strong possibility then?
Well, I've got the bug back. I've been away from it for so long, and I'd like to try to do it again, try to win the championship again, but I feel if I really don't put in a good 110% effort, it's going to be very hard for me to win it, and I don't want to go at it in a half-assed sort of way.
Well, you've won it for the last 2 years. Are you thinking about going in the American qualifying on June the 12th?
Yes, I am thinking about it, but I really can't say yes or no right now.
Okay, so it's a possibility. Meanwhile, it's Hollywood going very well. What about this British final? Will your old mate Kenny Carter win it tonight?
My mate Kenny Carter will win it. I don't know. My mate Kenny Carter.
Well, he said he wouldn't have you back in Britain, didn't he?
That's right, yeah. Well, we had a little confrontation at the Los Angeles Coliseum last year, and he told me to never step a foot in England, so that's why it's been so long for me to get back in the country.
Quick tip for tonight? Well, go up in the commentary position and join our commentator Dave Lanning now to find out who really does win it tonight, because here with the best of the action is Dave Lanning, aided by Bruce Pennell.
And so this big crowd at Brandon waiting for the start of heat number 5, and the rider holding up proceedings, John Davis, who has had 2 races in successive heats. He's coming into grid 1 with 2 points after his first ride. Next to him in blue, we have Peter Collins, and PC has 1 point, and it's interesting to note that with all the riders having completed 1 race, we haven't got one of the Collins boys in the top 8 at the moment. So the clan from Cheshire have a lot of work to do. Grid 3 has Kenny Carter, 2 points so far in white. On the outside, Andy Graham from Birmingham in yellow and black helmet colour. He has 2 points so far. Here we go for heat 5. Collins in grid 2 really looking for points. The other 3 have opened steadily enough. And so here we go for heat number 5. And from the inside, Davis has gone away. Davis leads it, gets a knock, and my word, Andy Graham took a terrible knock there in the first corner. Davis leading now is getting terribly tight as Carter comes bustling and hustling under Peter Collins, and Carter's moved into second place. Davis is in front, Carter is second, Peter Collins is third. We've lost Andy Graham, and well, Carter really forcing his way to the front there. He now moves into the lead. Second place Davis, third is Peter Collins, and Andy Graham, the reigning champion, well out of it, nearly a lap behind, as now Peter Collins comes charging after John Davis, who led from the start, but allowed Carter to come through. And this is going to be interesting to look at, this one again, as Davis looks around for the attack from Peter Collins. And here comes Collins looking for points desperately. He's only got 1 so far. Back in third place, Davis holds him out. There's the battle for second place. Carter's a mile in front, and Peter Collins must make his big effort now. But Davis is going to hold him over the line. A win for Carter, second Davis, third Peter Collins. An eventful heat 5.
Andy Graham, first of all, you want to talk to the referee. What about?
Yeah, I've got to go and talk to the referee, because that start I thought was diabolical.
Well, just show it very quickly before you slide off.
We're a fair start.
Now, I was off gate 4 there, and Kenny says it was a fair start, but it wasn't.
It was just what.
You see, I'm coming straight here.
Yeah, but look at
and
I had to move out.
See, he moved, you know, deliberately. Well, not deliberately.
I look at John. I had to go around John, didn't I?
You know, all right, I'm not saying it was anybody's fault. The referee should have had all 4.
You go and talk to the referee and tell us what happens. Kenny, what about your overtaking in that? Because there are 3 very vital points for you.
Well, I think I were lucky really, because I sort of made a start along with John, and then John moved out, and you can see there Peter sort of got stuck, and then I come in, and we all got stuck. I think me and Peter nearly fell off then. I mean, I will look at a stop on, and I'm sure Peter was in.
But in the end, you got your act together.
Well, you know, I'm just pleased that I got a win in that race, and 3 more will do.
Well, the reigning British champion Andy Graham can't be too happy with life because his protest to the referee came too late, so there's no score from him from his second outing, and he won't be too happy about that. Well, heat number 9, and a lot of questions should be answered here. We have got Dave Jessup, the overall leader. He's unbeaten and has looked in his immaculate best. He's on the outside this time. The outside grid has been the least successful in the first 8 races, only 7 points coming from it. Looking across the line there in white is Peter Collins. He'll need some points, only got 2 points so far. Former champion, of course. So from the inside, it will be Gordon Kennett in red, down with Kings Lynn, of course, with Eastbourne for all his previous years of his career. He has 4 points. Colin Richardson in grid 2. Started his career with Eastbourne too. He has 2 points. Grid 3, Collins is beginning to get a little bit desperate for PC. And on the outside, the peerless-looking Dave Jessup on this flying machine, this Italian-built motor. It has looked very sharp. Here we go for heat 9. Can Jessup make the start again? It hasn't been a quick grid on the outside, but it looks like it might be this time. And it's Collins who sweeps into the lead. Jessup's in second place. Third place is Kennett. And now it is Collins in front and Dave Jessup, the 2 elder statesmen of English Speedway. And Jessup's in terrible trouble and picks him up and goes over in a very untidy heap. And Collins has gone down as well. And that was an unhealthy one. Collins is on his feet. Jessup is still down. He did go over awkwardly. And that really is a dramatic development here in this British final. The overall leader, Jessup, is down and looking in trouble. But let's just see what happens here with Bruce Pannell. Bruce, read us through it.
Well, Dave came in very, very good, but he caught a little drive right here. He picked up a little bit, straightened up, and hit the rear wheel, or right in the middle of Peter, and definitely high-sided, which Peter caused to lift a little bit, and he just got her down just before the fence. But he did high-side, and he took a terrible tumble, Dave.
Well, there is Dave Jessup back on his feet, but it looks like some damage has been done to the right shoulder as he flipped over the wrong way. We've got his father there, John Jessup. He's a little figure with the balding head on the right of the picture. Malcolm Simmons, his Wimbledon teammate, and a golfing chum from Kent is there as well. And Dave Jessup looks very much the worse for wear. It looks like it might be a collarbone. Bruce Pannell.
Yeah, when you do go over the high side like that, Dave, it does tend to break collarbones, which isn't a serious break, and it looks like he is hurting a little bit now.
And we wonder if he can possibly continue. See, he has some movement there, Bruce.
Well, he has movement. I think he was probably going to be all right. I'm sure they would have strapped him up pretty tight if it was a collarbone break.
Heat number 12, and that injury to Dave Jessup, and we hear he has gone to hospital for a checkup, has really opened up this British final, because we have 2 riders in here, John Davis on the inside in red and Chris Morton, who will be in the blue helmet right alongside him, and a win would actually put them into the lead at the halfway stage. So let's have a look across the line. On the inside, Davis. Next to him, Chris Morton. Grid 3 has Malcolm Simmons, 3 points so far, and on the outside, Sean Wilmot from Hackney in yellow and black. And away they go this time, and up to the corner it is Davis in front. Davis leads it. In second place it is Wilmot. Coming through on the inside hard is Chris Morton. Morton into second place, and going under into third place it is Malcolm Simmons, and so now Morton must try the outside run on Davis. And we know what an exciting star this Chris Morton can be, and how he loves to go around the outside just like that. That was perfect overtaking from Morton from Bellevue. He leads it. Davis is second. Third place is Simmons, and that was perfect Speedway. Oh, Bruce Pannell, there are a few more exciting sights in the whole world of Speedway than Chris Morton when he's got his tail up, is there?
I'll tell you, whenever you're in front of Chris Morton, you never know where he's going to be at any time. He's always trying. He's just like the Collins brothers, never gives up, and he's such an exciting rider. He's great to watch.
And he is leading heat number 12, and a win here will, as we mentioned, take him into the lead overall. And Davis now under some pressure from Malcolm Simmons. I think he'll hold on. So that's his second place for Davis, so he's well set for qualification. A win for Morton. Second place Davis. Third there was Malcolm Simmons. 3 races completed, and it could hardly be closer, because only 3 points separate the top 13 scorers, and remember, only 8 to qualify. Let's look at the leaderboard. In front now by 1 point on 7 points, Chris Morton from Bellevue. Then we have John Davis, Simon Wigg, Gordon Kennett, and the unlucky Dave Jessup on 6 points. Tying up on 5 points, we have Paul Woods, Peter Collins, Michael Lee, Kenny Carter well down, and Les Collins. And then 3 more riders on 4 points, Phil Collins, Malcolm Simmons, and Andy Graham, the reigning champion. It could hardly be closer. Anything could happen in the second part of this program here from Coventry. 15, the situation remains very much the same. Nobody can afford to finish last, because that could be the difference between qualification and going on the World Championship scrap heap for 1983. Let's have a look at the lineup for Heat 15. Colin Richardson's been steady, 3 third places, but technically he still might qualify. Grid 2 has Paul Woods with 5 points, and he's still in with chances. Grid 3 has Malcolm Simmons. He too has 4 points. So again, he'll be looking towards Bellevue still. And Kenny Carter from Halifax on the outside has slipped by virtue of a last place in his last ride. He has 5 points. The lineup again for Heat 15. Richardson inside, next to him Woods. Grid 3 Simmons, on the outside Carter. And up to the corner, showing in front is Richardson, and here comes Carter around the outside, and he steams by like a heat-seeking missile. He leads it. Second place is Richardson. Battle going on for third place between Woods and Simmons, and they're all tightening up at the back, and Simmons goes hard under Woods, and Woods has held him off bravely. That was brave cornering from the Eastbourne rider. Carter's still in front. This is good speedway in Heat 15. He leads it. Second place still Richardson. Third place Woods, and Simo, the veteran 37-year-old, of course, world number 2 way back in 1976 when Peter Collins won the title. He's at the back. This might be his last chance, and Simmons making his move, and this is where all the action is here in Heat 15. For the odd points, Carter steaming on a mile in front. Simmons must make his big effort. Here's Carter. It's a long way in front, and it could be that Richardson will hold on. And Woods holds on to third place as well, and Simmons was at the back. That could be crucial for him. But Carter very much back on course now for qualification to the overseas final. And so Heat 16, and Chris Morton in white here beginning to fancy his chances for this title. He has 7 points. He's as well placed as anybody at this stage. Across the line, Andy Graham on the inside, 4 points, needs points desperately. Gordon Kennett has 6 points, looking comfortable and looking very consistent, Gordon from Kings Lynn. Then Morton in grid 3, and on the outside, Les Collins, who's picked up after a disastrous opening ride, has 5 points. So all 4 of these riders have everything to race for here in heat number 16. Seems to be a long time getting away, and it's a very even break, and it is Graham who shows in front. Coming hard around the outside, Les Collins in second place. It is Kennett. Kennett relegated back to third place as Les Collins does the big dive around the outside, and here comes Morton as well. And this is super speedway. Still Graham leads it. Second place Collins, moving up into third place. It's Morton. And it really is speedway of the highest order at this moment as Les Collins comes flying down the outside of Andy Graham. Trying to find the drive, trying to find the grip. Morton is up on their both back rear wheels, and it's tremendous speedway, it really is. Look at this battle. We have lost Gordon Kennett. His bike has given up. Morton has moved into second place. What a race this is turning out to be. Still Graham. Morton up into second place. Les Collins made a bit of a mistake down there on the bottom corner, and here comes Chris Morton. And Morton, we know, will try the high run around the outside of Graham. Now, has he got the steam? He's locking back. No, he has not. And Graham has ridden a perfect tactical race. Graham wins it. That's so important to him. Second place Morton. Third was Les Collins, who almost got up. And Gordon Kennett limping over the line, but there is Andy Graham, the reigning champion, showing he has not had his last say in this British final by any means. They've got one ride left, couldn't be closer. Chris Morton leads it on 9. Then we have Carter, Michael Lee and John Davis on 8. Peter Collins and Phil Collins and Andy Graham all on 7. Les Collins, Simon Wigg, Dave Jessup out of contention and in hospital, one would presume. Paul Woods and Gordon Kennett all have 6 points. Colin Richardson's not out of the picture on 5. Remember, only 8 go forward. Which 8 is it going to be as we move into the later stages? Heat number 17, and it really is nerve-wracking and nail-biting as we move into what amounts to the last round of this British final, with 14 of the 16 starters still with everything to race for. On the inside here, Peter Collins has 7 points. Must really get points to be sure of going forward to the overseas final. Next to him, his younger brother Neil has no score, rather he had just 1 point. So he really is one of the riders out of contention. Grid 3 has Les Collins, has 6 points. Again, he wants points. And Malcolm Simmons on the outside has 4. So a race win here could conceivably get him back into a qualification place. And it looks like Simmons has come across from the outside, although the Collins boys have squeezed him out around the first corner. Peter leads it, and Simmons squeezed by. It's terribly tight there. Peter Collins in front. Simmons is in second place. Les Collins is third, and Peter took him very wide. And it allowed Les to come through on the inside, and the Collins boys are doing some scissoring out there, but Simmons is not to be beaten. That's a beautiful piece of cornering, and he's moved around the outside of Peter Collins, who swings back down the line. Again, taking Simmons out high. Simmons has time to remove his goggles, but I wonder if his challenge is finished, because now Les Collins has crept around the curve. Again, Simmons just holds on. Really is Speedway for the connoisseur out there at the moment, with Peter Collins, who'll be doing enough to go forward. And now brother Les has moved into second place. Lucky Simmons still has not finished. They're into the last lap now. And can Simmons possibly find the resolve to get around the outside? I don't think he's going to do it. Good tactical riding by the Collins boys. Peter wins it. Les is second. Malcolm Simmons is third. And that will surely be enough to take Peter and Les Collins through to the overseas final. Heat number 18, and we'll be looking for the riders on the 2 inside grids. That is Andy Graham in red and Phil Collins in the blue helmet colour. There is Andy Graham, the reigning champion, whose second race incident, which lost him points, has proved costly, because he's had 5 points from his last 2 rides. He's on 7 points now, and but for that second race duck, he would well have been in contention to retain the title. So looking across the line, Graham on the inside, 7 points, needs some points here just to be sure of qualification. Next to him, Phil Collins, the identical situation, has 7 points. Sean Wilmot has 2 points in grid 3, and really is now out of contention for a place in the overseas final. But on the outside, Colin Richardson could be a spoiler, because he has 5 points. He's scored in every one of his rides, 3 third places and a second. And if he jumps out here and wins it, that really would stir up the situation. So heat 18, with all kinds of possibilities. We'll look for Andy Graham, who really has got his act together in the last 2 rides. And we'll just keep an eye on Richardson on the outside, because if he starts quickly and gets in front, it really should get quite lively out there. Here we go for heat number 18. And it is an even break. And from the inside, as predicted, it is Graham who starts in second place. Surprisingly, Sean Wilmot coming round the outside, Phil Collins, and down the inside is Richardson. But it is Andy Graham setting sail. Phil Collins in second place. Richardson, who just did not quite get the edge around the first turn, although he's boldly challenging, because he knows it is not all over. There's such a parity between this class field. And indeed, it has been said that this is a tougher meeting than maybe the final itself. Bruce Pennell, how would you react to that? Because it really is a close one, this one. Yeah,
it sure is. Boy, I'll tell you what, I would not like to be here tonight. But the guys are doing all a great job. You know, I feel sorry for Dave Jessup. But anyway, you know, the top runners are going well, and they just keep on plugging away. They never get up until that green flag, that checkered flag drops.
And so Andy Graham, the reigning champion, who came here to qualify on his lucky bike, is doing just that. He's through. So too is Phil Collins, surely. And Colin Richardson, for all his consistency, never out of the placings, must now be surely eliminated from the 1983 World Championship. But we have 2 more qualifiers for sure. Heat 19, the penultimate heat of this intriguing British final. And the way the meeting pattern has unfolded really has been fascinating, because we have 2 riders in here, Paul Woods on the inside and Gordon Kennett on the outside, who both won their first rides in the most impressive style, have faded a bit since then. They both now have 6 points, and really, if they finish last here, they know their World Championship dreams must be over for 1983. The full lineup, and it's a race that really should be a cruncher. On the inside, Woods has 6 points, must score here to retain any chance of qualification, surely. Next to him, Michael Lee has recovered from a disastrous start. He now has 8 points, and he'll be still looking for a place on the rostrum. Grid 3 has John Davis, super consistent, 4 second places. And really, John will be looking for a point at least here to be absolutely sure. And on the outside, Gordon Kennett on 6 points, who can ill afford a last place. He must score here surely to stay in touch with the World Championship in 1983. A Heat 19 of intriguing possibilities and all kinds of permutations as the four riders take their time to settle down. What must be going through their minds? They know that the World Championship, the prime goal in World Speedway, the Blue Ribbon event, could rest their chances, their future, and it could rest on this race. The start is going to be so important. Woods, Lee, Davis, Kennett, that's the way they line up from the inside. And this is the all-important Heat 19 with so very much to race for. And again, it is Davis who looks to start, and Lee who has gone in front. Lee and Davis in front. Third place is Woods, and at the back, Gordon Kennett. So it's the two Pool Pirates in front. And sweeping through hard comes Paul Woods on Davis, but Davis holds him out for second place. Lee in front, Davis is second. Woods trying hard to come through on the inside of Davis and might just have the drop on him, although Davis fights back. But John does go out into the dirt and leaves a big hole down the inside as we move into lap 3. And it looks like Gordon Kennett's dreams of another World Championship final. Remember, he was second in 1978. Looks like his dreams are broken. Michael Lee, well, this should certainly take him into the first 3 and certainly on to Bellevue in the overseas final. John Davis, marvellously consistent, JD. Looks like he is going to have 5 second places to qualify. And that takes Michael Lee onto the lead on 11 points. It may only be prematurely. John Davis goes through. In third place, it is Woods. So the two Pool Pirates are now surely going through to Bellevue, and the Dorset contingent in this large, happy crowd are making some noises about that. Heat 20, still lots of possibilities and permutations. Let's try and spell it out. Michael Lee has finished his rides on 11 points, and in Heat 20, we have Chris Morton on 9 points, so a win here will win him the British crown. We also have Kenny Carter on 8 points. He'll be on the inside. He has 8 points, so if he wins and Morton is second, we have a 3-way runoff. We also have Simon Wigg, and he is in the blue helmet colour, and he really needs 2 points to be sure of qualification. And Kevin Hawkins, the supplementary reserve, is in just to make up the numbers, and down there has gone Wigg, and it was bunching, and that was almost inevitable. And we have drama of the highest order here in Heat 20, and what will referee Mel Price make of that?
The tapes went up. Kenny's on the inside, and Simon's right next to him out of 2. And it looks like it was just a tight first corner. Kenny came up a little bit and just hit the front wheel of Simon, and there was nowhere for any of them to go. I don't think anybody really should have been excluded there, although it was a real tight first corner.
Simon Wigg down, but by no means out, as the referee Mel Price has ordered a restart with all 4. Carter got a bit of stick for that incident, although really didn't look as though it was any more than enthusiasm that brought Wigg down. So what's it going to be? Heat 20, everything's still to go for. And Wigg has made a flyer. Wigg's got a flyer, and his bike stopped again. Oh, what terrible luck. As Morton sweeps in front, second place Carter, third is the supplementary reserve Kevin Hawkins, who we really can discount. But it is Morton in front, second place Carter, and Simon Wigg, well, his bike has been misfiring all night, and it really has now failed at a heartbreaking time for him. But let's look instead up front at Morton, and Morton is slowing. Morton doesn't look happy. What more drama could we ask in a British final? Morton seemed to be slowing as Carter closed on him. Remember, if Carter can get up here and could force a 3-way runoff for the British crown, 500 quid on this lap, and Carter is busting a gut, showing all his grit and Yorkshire determination, but I don't think he's going to do it. And I think Morton, who fancied his chance right from the opening word, goes over the line, the winner. Second place is Carter, third is Kevin Hawkins. That's just for the record books. Heartbreak for Simon Wigg, trailing round. It looked like he'd made the start, but Morton is the British champion. Carter will go to Bellevue with him. And, well, we've had an evening of memorable Speedway racing. And so in the final analysis, Chris Morton, the new British champion, on 12 points. Michael Lee has 11, and the other qualifiers, Kenny Carter, Peter Collins, Andy Graham and John Davis, all with 10 points. Phil Collins on 9, Les Collins on 8.